Good morning to all of you. On behalf of all of us here at the USGBC, I would like to welcome you to our town hall. We are gathering here today at an extraordinary time with a global pandemic not seen in the last 100 years. I really hope this is a once in a lifetime event for us. Having said that, as we adjust to the new normal, let our actions be motivated by the thought that we have not inherited the earth from our fathers, we are borrowing it from our children. So let us continue to strive to make our planet a better place for our future generations. What we do here at the USGBC helps us stay true to that goal. Our New England and Middle Atlantic region includes the 10 states of Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. Thanks to all of you for joining us this morning and taking time out of your busy day to connect with USGBC. We would have preferred to be with you in person at the beautiful CIC Center on Dyer Street in Providence, Rhode Island. Although we can't be together in person, I'm excited that we can gather together virtually this morning for a conversation about the future of USGBC and to talk about our upcoming activities and programs as we navigate the current pandemic and our new normal. I'm Gautam Taraftar, and I work as the Market Transformation and Development Lead for our region. I am joined today by my co-workers, Tracy Hall, who is based just outside of Buffalo, New York, and Medea Vilray, who lives in New Jersey. We are grateful to ARC for presenting our event today. You will hear from ARC's Chief Operating Officer in a little bit later. We would like to extend a warm welcome to our chapters in the New England area. We look forward to actively collaborating with them in 2020 and beyond. Thanks to Built Environment Plus, the Connecticut Green Building Council, the Rhode Island chapter, and the New Hampshire chapter. As part of our town hall series in 2019, Mahesh went around the country and visited 30 cities to engage with the leaders and the communities on the ground. In continuing with the momentum he set, he had plans to visit 30 more cities in 2020, so he can connect firsthand with the people who are driving the change within our sustainability ecosystem. He joined us in New York City on January 24, and thereafter, he was able to visit the Pacific region cities in person. Since March 11, we have gone virtual, and he has met with audiences in the East, North, Central region and the South Atlantic region. He is with us this week to share with us his vision for the future. As the USGBC sets the vision for the next 25 years, we remain committed to the 4 pillars of sustainability, health and wellness, resilience, and equity. We continue to build upon the foundation of LEAD with our newest version 4.1, increasing our reach through our members and creating real impact within the space of existing building and communities by focusing on project performance within LEAD. In the spirit of creating a healthy competition amongst the states, we created the top 10 states in LEAD map in 2015. The yellow highlighted states here represent the top 10 in 2019. Here is the data for the top 10 states for 2019. New York and Massachusetts have consistently been part of the top 10 list since we started publishing it. I hope and wish that the other states within our region make it to this list in 2020 and the years to come. The New England area, along with the Middle Atlantic, continues to lead in the number of projects registered in the United States. We had 256 projects registered in the last 16 months and 207 projects certified over the same period of time. As you can see, we have almost 40 million square feet of space signed up for certification, while another 27 million square feet has been certified so far. I know we have experienced a slowdown in economic activity within this region, as it has been the hardest hit of all within the country, but the certification activity remains strong. 15 projects received their certification within the last 6 weeks alone. The 2 projects listed in blue also registered to measure their ongoing performance using the ARC platform. In the last week, Cabot Elementary School in Newton, Massachusetts achieved LEED Gold. Also receiving similar distinction the very same day was the Rhode Island Attorney General Customer Service Office in Cranston, Rhode Island. We have over 10,000 LEED professionals in the New England area. Many of these professionals hold multiple credentials. There are 14 LEED fellows amongst you. The USGBC is open to collaborating and cross-promoting events happening in our region. Built Environment Plus, which is Massachusetts-based, is hosting its annual Building Tech Forum tomorrow. Please be sure to attend it. I was there in person last year and enjoyed an afternoon full of learning and meeting with building professionals. I would also like to mention that we will be jointly hosting Build It Better and Design for People in 2021 with Built Environment Plus. I wanted to take a few minutes to share with you some exciting online programs we have planned for you in the next couple of months. In keeping with our commitment to social equity, USGBC has announced a 2-day virtual summit scheduled for May 28th and 29th. I encourage you to attend it and would love it if some of you would agree to be a presenter at this event. Eric Backus, a member of our New York Upstate Board and member of LEED faculty, has been extremely generous in agreeing to share his expertise by hosting a deep dive into LEED v4 and v4.1. These are spread over 12 sessions of 90 minutes each. I would encourage you to register for the event, and for folks who are in New York Upstate, if they renew their membership, they will have their registration fee waived. Students attend for free. Additionally, Joshua Radoff, who is also a LEED fellow and a member of WSP, has been helping us put together a series of webinars around the topic of carbon, LEED, and climate change. He has agreed to host 5 of these in 2020. Our next event is on June 11, where Joshua will be sharing his vision on how LEED v4.1 can help mitigate climate change. Now, as we continue to navigate through these difficult times, I wanted to leave you with some things you can do to actively stay involved within your local communities and USGBC. Please do sign up for our newsletter. We are extremely proud that we are able to reach over 20,000 members every 2 months through our regional newsletters. Additionally, we encourage you to become an individual member or join us as an organizational member. If you follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter and Instagram, you would have seen we are here to celebrate your successes. So please do share your stories with us. For the remainder of 2020, we have gone fully virtual. So please join us for our virtual events and invite a colleague. You can join a committee to serve your local community. You can sponsor an event, and you can get involved in your local community. We have a wide variety of avenues and activities where you can participate. Most importantly, we want your feedback. The education programming we offer is based on what you have expressed a desire to learn from us in the past. We want to keep the dialogue going. We appreciate your feedback. You will receive a survey after this event by email. With that, I would like to invite the Chief Operating Officer of ARC, Mr. Dave Wittek. His support helped us bring this town hall to you today. Thank you, and over to you, Dave.
Thank you, Gotham. And good morning to everybody. Very excited to be here, even though it's virtual, talking with you and sharing what we've been up to at ARC. Some of you may have experience with it as lead dynamic plaque a number of years ago, or even ARC a handful of years ago. We have made significant changes over the last 6 to 8 months, and so hopefully you'll relook at what we're doing with ARC and give us a shot. I think it could be a valuable tool for you to use. Um, so ARC is a technology platform which is focused on the performance of your project. It picks up where LEED has traditionally left off, where LEED is all about the intent of your project, how it was designed, whether your construction was done to that design. ARC then measures the performance of your building once it goes operational. It asks how your project is doing now that the people have moved in. If you're an early adopter in Rhode Island, we appreciate the fact that you've jumped on board with us. To give you some global numbers, we are working in over 90 countries with almost 10,000 projects to date, representing 6.5 million occupants and 3.5 billion square feet of space. We're helping these projects to measure, benchmark, track, and report their data in energy, water, waste, transportation, and human experience, as well as carbon emissions. Now, by tracking your project's performance in ARC, you're able to make adjustments to your energy and water use, and that'll save you money through reduced operating costs. Shown here is USGBC's annual energy consumption. By tracking it through ARC, the facilities team can react quickly to changes in use patterns. The bottom line of this chart shows our benchmark, our baseline year, which is 2011, with just over 1 million kilowatt hours. The top line is 2019 with about 425,000 kilowatt hours of use. That's nearly 600,000 kilowatt hours that we've been able to trim off of our usage, and that represents nearly $80,000 in savings. And that's an annual savings, not a one-time savings. Now, we need to set up ARC with an opportunity to meet you where you are. It's important for us to have every project have a starting spot within ARC. So at the end of 2019, we launched ARC for All. And what that means is every project everywhere can use ARC at no cost. All a project has to do is enter their data into ARC and you'll see its performance score. It's that easy. So if you have LEED and non-LEED buildings in your portfolio, you can bring them all into ARC to measure and compare in one place. Your data requirements and your reporting needs will all be centralized and easier for you to track. We also know that not everybody can achieve LEED certification right away. For those projects, we want to give them a place to start with their sustainability journey and an incremental path towards achieving LEED. For that, we've created performance certificates. If you're interested in just your energy rating, enter that data and we'll recognize you with an energy category certificate and your energy performance score. You can complete each category: energy, water, waste, transportation, and human experience, one at a time. And if you achieve all 5, you'll be ready for LEED certification. Great example of this is in Brazil, where more than 350 schools have been using performance certificates. They're on their pathway to LEED Zero for energy, but they're using performance certificates to communicate to their stakeholders what they're doing around sustainability today. And of course, if your ultimate goal is LEED, ARC can be used to achieve LEED certification or recertification using your performance score. ARC powers LEED 4.1 O&M certification, LEED Zero certification for energy, water, waste, and carbon, and recertification for any version of any LEED rating system. To assist with better understanding ARC and the importance of performance measurements in general, we're creating several Performance Pro trainings. All can be taken on demand, where you'll earn course completion certificate and GBCI CE credits. In fact, this Friday, we're holding a live online training that I'm sure Gotham could point you to if you're interested, or you can find it on the ARC website. And just last week, we released a new offering called ARC Essentials. This will include a set of tools, features, and reports that allow advanced users to gain even more insight into their projects. This includes the ability to look at strategies used by lead new construction projects in your area to assist with your design planning. It will allow you to model score changes based on changes in performance. And you'll be able to create detailed reports for your project, which can be customized and exported for your use. We believe that performance is the future of green building, and we've established the ARC Performance Platform to help people design, build, and operate buildings and spaces that benefit both people and the environment. We're holding webinars on May 27th, 28th, and June 4th with guest speakers who all are portfolio owners and are utilizing ARC, and they're going to share their experience with you. I hope that you'll join us for one of those webinars, but please get started in ARC today. With that, I want to thank you for your time and pass it on to the President and CEO of USGBC and GBCI, Mahesh Ramanujam. Good morning, Mahesh.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Gautam. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you and your families are all staying safe and healthy. And here at USGBC, and for those of us in the green building community, we spend the better part of our days talking about the need for our society to be more resilient, healthy, and equitable. The global foundation for sustainability we have set in place is indestructible. And even in the midst of an unprecedented public health crisis, I have no doubt that what all of us have built over the last generation of USGBC will endure. Our work and our mission has not stopped. In fact, they are more important now than ever before. And we have the opportunity to gather under the common banner of humanity and champion a better quality of life for millions of people around the world. I find comfort in knowing that we will emerge a stronger community in the months and weeks ahead. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this community and that you've all taken the time to join us today to discuss how we can move forward together. On behalf of everyone at USGBC, I would also like to take this moment to thank our healthcare workers, emergency responders, grocery store employees, and all other essential workers who are working day in and day out to protect their communities. For more than 25 years, we have worked together to build USGBC, GBCI, and LEAD into the extraordinary entities they are today. And now, as we enter the second generation of USGBC, and as COVID-19 continues to change our way of life, we have the opportunity to help each other by sharing our best practices and resilient behaviors with vulnerable communities all around the world. We can rely on each other and on these foundations to help us recalibrate and recover from this crisis. But to be able to effectively initiate that recovery, we must refine lead strategies to clearly communicate the economic, health, and environmental benefits of a project to its occupants and the community to which it belongs. Also, LEAD should comprehensively address these four pillars: sustainability, health and wellness, resilience, and equity. Now, at USGBC, we believe the greatest investment we can make is in each other. That's why we are an inclusive and diverse family of green builders from across the globe. We are real estate leaders, developers, contractors, architects, engineers, educators, innovators, government officials, companies, all working together to build healthy, efficient, and equitable communities for all. Especially in times like these, I am so honored to be a part of this community of leaders. Thank you for everything you have done. Your work has fueled us for our first generation. I'm proud of what we have been able to accomplish together, and I'm excited and optimistic for what we will build next. And thanks to our USGBC members who are on the front lines and helping others to get through the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. We have been sharing their stories on our websites, and I encourage you to check them out. And importantly, if you have a story to share, please share it with us. Now, here in the New England region, there are 505 of you, 505 members. This includes leading product manufacturer and platinum level member Legrand. And combined, Legrand's products can collectively contribute up to 33 points in 4 credit areas to move building projects towards certification, LEED certification. And Legrand is committed to developing solutions that enable high performance buildings, reducing the environmental impact of their operations, and transforming how people live and work more efficiently, comfortably, and safely. In support of this, Legrand has committed to reduce their carbon emissions in line with the Paris Climate Agreement, pledging to reduce their GHG emissions 30% by 2030 and 75% by 2050. Since 2014, they have avoided 4.5 million tons of CO2 emissions. And at that of 2018, they also achieved a 94.3% diversion of waste from landfill, closing on their goal of 99.5%. A member since 2004, Legrand has been a long-time partner of USGBC, and recently they also agreed to participate in the Better Building Materials platform that we announced at Greenbuild 19. If you have not explored that platform, please visit bettermaterials.gbci.org. Then there is this gold level member, Boston Properties, who was ranked among the top 4% of worldwide participants in the 2019 GRESB ESG benchmark. And Boston Properties, as we all know, that they have a ton of LEED projects as well. And I'm always fascinated by the work that they do. And I encourage you to read their corporate sustainability report and look at what they are doing in the marketplace. Or the platinum member, Gilbane Building Company, who has 320 LEED APs on staff and whose projects across the nation recycled 79% of their project waste for a total of 3 million tons of waste diverted from landfills in 2018. And finally, this includes entities like gold members, ESA Abloy, Harvard University, and Raytheon Company, who's demonstrated strong leadership in waste management by implementing TRUE, our zero waste program, at many of the sites in their portfolio. I hope you know that membership is absolutely vital to our work. Members fund and support everything that we do. We won't be here without the members. And everything that I'll be talking about today is supported also by the members. Because of membership dues, we are able to invest in LEED, provide scholarships to students, particularly to attend Greenbuild, and so much more. So without you, none of this work will be possible. And you are investing in the future of green building with us. And together, we are building a sustainable future for all. And the baseline of that future, as you know, is LEED. I want to give you all a quick update on how far we have come over our first generation and where we are headed with LEED in the future. 20 plus years ago, when we created LEED, we created a universally agreed upon holistic system for reducing environmental impact and providing a quality indoor environment, always with the goal of reducing carbon emissions, addressing climate-related risk, and improving the health and wellness of the occupants in buildings and the people in the communities. And today, green building has grown into a $1 trillion industry, and LEED has become the most widely used green building program in the world, and it is a full-scale global movement. We have 102,000 plus registered and certified LEED commercial projects, 2 million plus registered and certified residential units, projects in 178 countries and territories, and 205,000 plus LEED APs, developing, contributing, and implementing the LEED rating system across the world. Think about those numbers. Each of you has contributed to that legacy. You have helped improve your community through each project, each building, each credential. And you have helped ensure that LEED is not just a de facto leadership standard, but also a living standard. Because of the work you are doing, people know that if they are in a LEED certified building, they are using less energy and water, avoiding waste, saving on maintenance costs, improving indoor air quality, offering comfort to their occupants, and creating less environmental burden on their community. And most importantly, they know they are in a building that enhances health and wellness. Here in the New England region, you are contributing towards these incredible numbers I just mentioned. Combined, you have hit 5,025 registered and certified LEED projects, totaling 555 million square feet of space, and there are 10,318 LEED professionals directing this work across the region. We know part of what makes New England a leader is policies that help support better buildings for people. A recent example of this is Somerville, Massachusetts, which adopted a new zoning code in December that requires all new construction or modification of principal buildings greater than 50,000 square feet to meet LEED Platinum. We would like to see all of those projects completing certification so that the city knows it's getting what it calls for. And innovation is part of the New England way of doing things as well. We applaud the Connecticut Green Bank, which became the first C-PACE program to allow commercial energy efficiency retrofit projects to include LEED EB certification in their financing package. C-PACE helps small and larger businesses to implement these critical upgrades to save money on energy and water while improving the indoor environments for their workers. So we would love to see more C-PACE programs incorporate LEED EB to help drive greater improvement in existing buildings. I would also like to share some of the great work taking part across the region. Like the LEED Platinum 100-year-old Holt residence located in Providence, which makes a strong statement that no matter the condition, location, or age of a home, it can be healthy, sustainable, and high-performing when carefully redesigned. From the absence of harmful volatile organic compounds in building materials to the 1,000-gallon cistern rainwater capture system used for landscape irrigation, the details behind this project present a compelling story of the power green homes hold. Then there is New Canaan, Connecticut's Grace Farms, which was established with the idea that space communicates and can inspire people to collaborate for good. To realize this vision, Grace Farms Foundation set out to create a multi-purpose building nestled into the existing habitat that would enable visitors to experience nature, encounter the arts, pursue justice, foster community, and explore faith. The building achieved LEED certification in 2017. The architect Sana's goal was to make the river building become part of the landscape without drawing attention to itself. The design also preserves more than 70 of the 80 acres of the site in perpetuity as open meadows, fields, woods, wetlands, and ponds. Or what about Maine's Unity House? This 1,930 square feet home is the second of a series of prototypes that it was built as part of the Open Prototype Initiative, a joint venture into rethinking the way we build homes in the US between Bensonwood MIT and other construction industry members. The home achieved LEED Platinum and serves as a living classroom for Unity College students, faculty, and the public. The passive solar home is run entirely on electrical energy, uses a heat pump for heating and cooling, and features a 5.4 kilowatt PV array and solar domestic hot water system. And finally, there is Watertown, Connecticut's Taft Faculty House. Designed by Trillium Architects, this LEED Platinum building serves as a high-performance residence and learning lab for students. Taft's School's Director of Environmental Stewardship, Carly Burken, uses the process as a teaching tool for high school science students so that she can demonstrate that with access to home monitoring systems, students virtually can access the residence consumption. Let's not forget that none of the progress you're making would be possible without education and our credentialed stakeholders. Credentials provide a means of becoming not just a participant in this field, but a leader. If you don't have your credential yet, I encourage you to take an exam soon. Particularly in light of the current situation, we have also made both the LEED GA, LEED AP, WELL AP exams, all of these exams to be available online so that you can take them from the place where you are. So that's a good news from last week, so please take advantage of it. And at this moment, I also want to recognize the leadership of some of our LEED fellows in this region. The LEED fellow is the most prestigious distinction awarded by GBCI and recognizes outstanding LEED APs who have demonstrated exceptional impact with LEED. Like Chris Schaffner, founder and president of the Green Engineer, who has 30 years of experience in the design of building systems with a focus on energy efficiency and sustainability. Chris has been a member of USGBC's lead faculty since 2001, trained more than 9,600 building industry professionals in the use of LEED. 9,600 building industry professionals. And he has served on our USGBC board, advisory council, and he was our recent chair on the LEED steering committee. And he has also served on the energy and atmosphere technical group. He has also served on indoor environmental quality technical advisory group. Of course, many other volunteer assignments that he has participated. And he's still actively serving on the LEED steering committee. Thank you, Chris. And then there is Andrea Love of Payette, who is the immediate past chair of the board of directors of the USGBC Massachusetts, and Kenneth J. Filarski, who was instrumental in getting the state of Rhode Island to adopt legislation specifying our sustainable sites and LEED ND programs as applicable rating systems for certification in the state. In addition to our LEED fellows, I will also like to recognize some of our local leaders for the exceptional work they're doing, like Brad Jones of Cadmus, who was part of our LEED steering committee until last year and has participated in several of our technical advisory groups, or Dan Whitted of AHA Engineers, who was a founding member of our social equity working group, or Kimberly Vermeer of Urban Habitat Initiatives Inc., who has been a strong proponent of LEED certified affordable housing over the years. And Jennifer Taranto, who we recently recognized for our leadership in putting health at the heart of design. A veteran in the commercial real estate and construction industry, Jennifer is the director of sustainability at Structure Tone, and her ability to manage and lead subcontractors through the LEED process comes from her previous background as superintendent and project manager. She understands the importance of creating awareness of health and sustainability goals at the early stages of a project and remains an active partner during the pre-construction integrated design process to ensure those goals are met. And finally, I am grateful to the services of Dr. Ori Bernstein, our chair of the US Green Building Council, for his extraordinary contribution to the mission, to the vision, and most importantly, the strategy of USGBC as we are thinking through the second generation of USGBC. So I'm extremely grateful to all these leaders. So on behalf of all of us at USGBC, I would like to thank you once again for your leadership in the New England region and for setting a fine example for the rest of the leaders around the world. Now, if the first generation of LEED was about connecting the dots between awareness and adoption, about educating people on the impact of this work, then the second generation must be about accelerating adoption. And doing so through new metrics, new credits, new incentives, new goals, and new ways of implementing LEED at a time when the world needs it the most. In our latest version of LEED, LEED version 4.1, we have not only raised our energy reference standard, but also added a carbon metric to the rating system for new and existing buildings. This way, we can directly measure the impact buildings are having on the climate as dictated by efficiency, on-site storage, generation, and the grid of which it is a part of. We've also made improvements to the renewable energy credit, so buildings can be incentivized to invest in the kind of clean energy technology that lowers emissions even further. And in LEED version 4.1, we are asking project teams to understand the embodied carbon in their material selection. This way, they can use whole building life cycle assessments and tools like environmental product disclosures to weigh options for building design and material selection with lower carbon impact. The material credits in LEED version 4.1 has been significantly simplified, and it is evident from that more than 8,200 credits have been substituted by 2,295 LEED version 4 projects around the world. This means more projects are including sustainable and healthy materials to positively impact the health and wellness of their occupants. Additionally, the construction and demolition waste management credit rewards teams for reducing the amount of construction they're doing and the amount of demolition materials that they are going through. According to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, 10 to 15% of materials are wasted during the construction process. So this is a real opportunity to reduce embodied carbon by recycling and sorting these material streams. Adding carbon as a metric to everything we do sets the foundation upon which all new and existing buildings and eventually communities and cities can assess their current carbon footprint and begin mitigation. And projects in New England are already implementing LEED version 4.1, including Boston's LEED Gold Park Square, 501 Boylston Street, and 28 State Street buildings, as well as Needham's LEED Gold 117 Kendrick Street and Mashantucket's LEED Gold Tanger Foxwoods. That's exciting. As Dave mentioned earlier, we have fully integrated ARC into LEED version 4.1, making LEED the first green building performance standard in the world. Through this integration, we are helping project teams to ensure that design, construction, and operational strategies are driving the expected performance outcomes for the project. Of course, we want all LEED projects to continue to demonstrate leadership long after they are constructed and occupied. Through our new recertification guidance, any LEED project, old or new, can recertify using 12 months of performance data. Over 490 projects have already voluntarily recertified using this new guidance, and we expect this number to grow rapidly in the future. This includes Liberty Mutual Group's Boston Back Bay headquarters, which originally achieved LEED Gold O&M certification in 2011 by working with CBRE to increase the building's operating efficiency and reducing its utility consumption. To achieve these goals, CBRE conducted an energy audit, a building-wide lighting audit, and an on-site waste stream audit. The firm also balanced the building ventilation system to optimize occupant comfort and reduce HVAC-related energy consumption by approximately 5%. And as a result of their efforts, at the time of their initial certification, they were able to project that Liberty Mutual would realize approximately $63,900 in annual savings within an expected payback period of 2 years. Savings of 400,000 kilowatts of energy, reduction of 1,323 tons of carbon dioxide emissions, and a projected diversion of 56 tons of recycling from landfills. Liberty Mutual and CBRE's initial sustainability investments paid off. And in August of last year, the building recertified, actually going from gold to platinum. I love stories like this. There's a project going from 62 points to 81 points. That is phenomenal leadership and a wonderful story of a continued commitment to reaching the highest levels of performance. If we are going to move the needle to tackle climate change, we only have one choice: to set our sights at zero. We believe net zero is a powerful target that will move the entire industry forward to a regenerative future. This is where leaders are going, with 17 certifications already achieved. LEED projects are transitioning to net zero milestones, and I believe yours can too. Yes, zero carbon emissions, but also net zero energy use, water use, and waste. My favorite example is this LEED Zero Energy project, the Discovery Center Elementary School in Arlington, Virginia. $117,000 in annual savings to fund 2 teachers' salaries. If a school can deliver this, there should be no excuse for any project in the world not to pursue the LEED Zero goals. In addition to these savings, these financial savings, they have also delivered a net positive energy balance, with the school serving as the learning laboratory for students to get an early start on sustainability. So far, as I noted earlier, we have delivered 17 LEED Zero certifications, including the Colgate-Palmolive Burlington, New Jersey site that has achieved all 4 certifications: LEED Zero Energy, LEED Zero Water, LEED Zero Waste, and LEED Zero Carbon. And I'm happy to see that hundreds of LEED projects are now actively considering LEED Zero certification, starting a whole new trend towards zero. While LEED Zero is made for individual buildings, we want to accelerate change on every possible scale. And that means not only addressing isolated projects, but the cities and the communities that they belong to. We need to see the forest through the trees. That's why we created LEAD for cities and communities. It's a change on an even grander scale. These programs are helping cities develop responsible, sustainable, and specific plans for green energy, water, waste, transportation, and many other factors that contribute to the human experience. They encompass sustainability and much more: quality of life, health, prosperity, equity, education, resilience, infrastructure, and energy. They are designed to support continuous progress toward developing better communities and cities, because better communities equal better lives. More than 100 cities and communities around the world, including Cambridge, Devens, New Bedford, and Northampton in Mass, and Burlington in Vermont, are registering and certifying with us. In total, these places cover more than 53 million people. Now, this slide is fascinating. This lists all the cities and communities that we have certified so far, and hence the small font. But let's go for the first takeaway from this slide. Is that if your city is not on this list, please encourage them to take action. Get them or help them get certified. The second thing I want to leave you with this is how LEAD can be layered to support people, businesses, neighborhoods, and cities. And importantly, you will see that if you take a closer look at that list, towards your left is Washington, D.C. at the very bottom, which is the first LEED certified city in the world to platinum. But you will also see the Golden Triangle Business Improvement District, a neighborhood within the city, further to your right at the very bottom. Now, recently, Golden Triangle achieved LEED Platinum certification and became the first LEED certified business improvement district in the world. Golden Triangle has made significant efforts to ensure a clean, safe, and vibrant neighborhood for more than 89,000 people. It's a stellar example of how to use every possible inch to improve the quality of life and living standards for every person who visits or calls it home. Now, you may be wondering, why am I talking about Washington, D.C., when we are talking about the New England region? And this is why. USGBC's headquarters, LEED Platinum office in Washington, D.C., is also proudly part of this Golden Triangle Improvement District. Imagine if every LEED building asks their community and city to get certified. And imagine if we can connect all of the data through the ARC platform, and we know exactly the impact our buildings, communities, and cities are making. Imagine that world. And that is what we are trying to work towards by connecting buildings to communities to cities. Now, moving on, as Dave mentioned, ARC powers LEED. But we also know that there are many existing buildings that may not be ready for LEED. And to help them get started, we have introduced performance certificates. Think of them as college credits that allow every project to get started and eventually graduate by making incremental progress on specific performance categories: energy, water, waste, transportation, and human experience. Yes, eventually these projects can get LEED certification if they want to. Now, the slide shows that we have 9,700 projects in ARC tracking their building performance and really pushing their performance goals. But the number from today is 9,840 projects in ARC are actively tracking their data, with more than 20,000 users using the system on a daily basis. And we also have 411 energy performance certificates in the system that has been already delivered within a very short duration of time. And this is exciting to me because this is exactly how we will jumpstart the much needed progress on our existing buildings. All of these efforts, from ARC to LEED Zero, and are all part of our vision to ensure the next phase of USGBC's efforts will be LEED positive, where buildings are actually generating more energy than they use and removing more carbon than they produce. And the way to get there may not always be direct. It'll require incremental steps from a project tracked in ARC to a certified building to a LEED Zero building and beyond. The aspirational goal that I've set for USGBC is that we will require all LEED new construction projects to achieve LEED positive starting in 2025, and all existing buildings to be LEED positive by 2050. So totally, we are giving them 5 years advance notice and totally 30 years to transform our building sector stock. That's our aspiration and that's our goal. So in the years ahead, LEED buildings must not just do less harm than traditional construction. Instead, they should be carbon positive and truly regenerative. They should generate more energy than they consume, save more water than they use, remove more carbon than they produce, and have a positive impact on the physical, mental, and social health of its occupants. In short, LEED buildings need to give back to communities more than they take from them. We need to reimagine how to grow and scale our projects so that in meeting this new demand, we create better, more inclusive spaces. And that will be achieved by all of us together. And most importantly, we now have the building blocks with LEED version 4.1 as the baseline system to scale and deliver on that aspiration. What I love about LEED is that it's not just about awareness, it's about adoption. I'll repeat that number: 102,000 registered and certified commercial projects around the world. Day in, day out, we are proving that we are converting awareness into adoption. While cities across the globe work to flatten the COVID-19 curve and return to some sense of normalcy, we must face a new reality. The world we return to might look nothing like the one we left behind. The impact of the global COVID-19 pandemic will be felt for years to come on the economy, on people, and on our way of life. 50% of the world's population already lives below the poverty line. And the IMF estimates that in 2020 and 2021 alone, the cumulative GDP loss from this pandemic could be around $9 trillion. That's equivalent to a combined economy of both Germany and Japan. So it's no secret that the most vulnerable among us will feel the gravest impacts. We are going to have extraordinary mental, physical, and financial health repercussions in nearly every part of the society. Remaining resilient, both in business and life, will require every industry and individual to adapt at a pace we might never have thought possible. But what lies ahead is also a responsibility for us to design a more resilient future. We believe that healthy people in healthy places is the fastest way to build a healthy economy. And the global pandemic has only made our beliefs that much stronger and our mission that much more vital. We don't have to choose between public health and a healthy economy. The future will require both to thrive. That is why, going forward, we will prioritize our efforts to build people's trust that their spaces are healthy and have a positive impact not only on them, but the economy at large. In other words, our second generation at USGBC will focus on our relevant and reimagined vision. Healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy. As Gautam noted earlier, this is a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. But it's also a once-in-a-lifetime chance for us to fulfill that vision by asking the right questions and discovering the most equitable, inclusive, and innovative solutions. Last week, USGBC announced a series of actions and priorities that will support the global recovery effort and leverage the power of our community to shape a healthier future for all. You can read the full list of the recovery effort online, but I will take a few minutes to quickly go through a couple of important points. GBCI has already amended its LEED review process to incorporate the lessons learned over the last 2 months from COVID-19, and we will be also shortly publishing a series of reports offering specific guidance on best practices to help project teams assist their occupants as they re-enter their spaces. And this week, we are launching the call for ideas and call for requests to present, because we are organizing an event in June to hear perspectives from the broader market on how LEED can better evolve to deliver on the new reality we are facing. So please stay tuned for that invite this week, and please participate. We need that insight from you. We need that knowledge base from you. And most importantly, we need your strategic thinking and innovative solutions so that we can enhance LEED to respond to this new vision. And we'll also make a series of upgrades to LEED version 4.1. The discussion has started with our LEED steering committee already. That'll be made available to project teams in August of this year. And on an emergency basis, we said last week that we will release lead pilot credits to support social distancing, non-toxic surface cleaning, air quality, and infection monitoring. What I'm pleased to share with you is 2 of the credits have been already established, and it has been approved by our lead steering committee as of yesterday, and that is ready to roll out this week. And GBCI is working towards creating a certificate or a program to help you able to show to your project teams that those credits have been attempted or implemented to build confidence in the spaces for your occupants. So you will see that guidance come out through this week. And the most important part is any project can use those credits. The best part of those credits is that they don't need to be just LEED certified projects. They don't need to be projects even pursuing LEED. It can be any building project can look at those 2 credits and implement that best practice that is recommended. And then as needed, they can come to GBCI for review and verification. Of course, we are going to conduct a series of research reports to help our community understand broader trends in the market and opportunities to advance our new vision. Simply because people have constantly asked me over and over again, what's going on in this part of the world? What can we learn from the other part of the world? What strategies and concepts are scaling? So I'm working towards that. And the interesting part about this is we do see that a lot of people are coming back to work. So there are a good amount of lessons that we can actually share because we have visibility into almost 178 countries and territories. So we are in a unique position to be able to provide that real-time feedback, but also solutions that actually work on the ground. So I'm looking forward to sharing that information with the greater community. And we also think that this time we need to deploy a LEED ROI study because it has been way too long coming. So to demonstrate both return on investment and return on impact, having that tool handy will be very powerful. So we're going to launch that very soon. And we will be reaching out to each and every one of you to basically build a proper return on investment study that basically is properly reviewed by the greater community so that we can all get behind it and support it and most importantly, advocate for it. And finally, at Greenbuild 19, we announced our intent to launch the USGBC Equity Program. We are going to accelerate the implementation of this program in order to help our stakeholders address the social, health, and economic disparities within their communities. The pandemic has brought health to the forefront of people's minds. But the uneven ways in which the virus is impacting the most vulnerable reminds us of deep underlying social inequity. The word social washing is becoming very popular very quickly, and we don't like that. So to respond to this and to really demonstrate our community's commitment to a sustainable and an equitable world, we are launching our first equity summit, USGBC Equity Summit, on May 28th and 29th to collectively help us answer key questions that will shape the USGBC Equity Initiative and the second generation of USGBC. And to be crystal clear, our goal is to focus on buildings, communities, and cities and how we can use this construct to evolve our equity vision so that LEED itself can be the tool that can actually remind everybody to think about design, construction, operational, and performance-oriented practices to drive the social equity aspect. So our lens is very clear, but we also know that we have to learn a lot from the market before we can meaningfully evolve LEED or other systems to really respond to that need. And that is one of the critical pillars that we'll be advancing in the second generation of USGBC. So the 2-day event that I encourage all of you to attend to the best you can. And most importantly, it'll allow you to listen from our community members, particularly their presentation on how to deliver on USGBC's promise of better buildings equal better lives by demonstrating equity. Now, so far, we have received 538 registrations for the event, and more than 43 proposals have come in. Now, if you have a proposal to present, please go ahead and present because we are going to start the review process of who is going to actually present. And the good news is it'll all be recorded. It'll be made available online as soon as we can. And we already know that we have to schedule the second event for USGBC Equity event. So we'll start the planning of it. So please send your views, your thoughts to our team so that we can continue to incorporate your feedback, your insights, and most importantly, your leadership and truly reflect our aspirations to build an equitable world. So with that, I thank you for your time. And I want to close by saying healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy. This is our new timely relevant, and necessary vision. We hope you'll join us in making it a reality. And most importantly, thank you for your leadership.